In this episode, we dive into the intense final stretch of the 2024 MotoGP season, where Francesco Bagnaia finds himself 20 points behind Jorge Martin with just 3 races left. Despite the pressure, Bagnaia remains calm, insisting that the new sprint format changes the dynamic of chasing a title, making his gap not as significant as it might have been in past seasons. Meanwhile, Marc Marquez adds an extra layer of drama to the championship battle, reflecting on his controversial influence in 2015. Could Marquez be the wild card that shakes up the 2024 title fight? We also explore Raul Fernandez's daring experiment, racing without wings on his Aprilia at Phillip Island, and Pedro Acosta's uphill battle as he fights through a shoulder injury ahead of the crucial Thai GP. Will the title battle take an unexpected twist this weekend? Stay tuned as we break it all down. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm Jack, your host for another episode of Revin.co, where we dive deep into the latest news on MotoGP. Whether you're on your morning ride or kicking back at home, we've got you covered with everything happening on and off the track. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest MotoGP news. Let's jump right into it. Francesco Bagnaia remains calm despite being 20 points behind Jorge Martin, with only 3 races left in the 2024 MotoGP season. He downplays the gap, explaining how the new sprint format changes the nature of the title fight. 2 years ago, when you were arriving 3 races to go with 20 points, it was more critical than right now, where every weekend you can take 12 points more, Bagnaia said. With his experience in overcoming even larger deficits, he remains focused. If you want to win, you have to do something more. As Bagnaia heads into the Thai GP, his strategy remains simple: race hard and stay in contention for the title. Marc Marquez stirred up speculation with a pointed reminder of his influence on title races, recalling how his performance in 2015 indirectly affected the outcome of the championship. Even in 2015, I was not in the middle and I took points, theoretically, from somebody. You cannot control. I will give my 100%, Marquez said. This statement comes after his impressive battle with Jorge Martin at Phillip Island, where he snatched valuable points that could ultimately decide the 2024 title. Marquez made it clear that his focus is on his own race, even if it means unintentionally impacting the championship fight. You never want to hit another rider, but sometimes you cannot control it, Marquez added, heightening the tension as we head into the final rounds of the season. Raul Fernandez grabbed attention last weekend at Phillip Island by racing without wings on his trackhouse Aprilia. It's the only track on the calendar where such an aerodynamic adjustment is allowed due to crosswind concerns. Despite dropping from 6th to 17th early in the race, Fernandez fought back to finish 9th. The Spaniard was pleasantly surprised by the bike's performance without the aero, saying, "It was a nice surprise. The pace was more or less to be there with the top 4. He also mentioned that the lack of aero made the bike much easier to handle physically, hinting that it could influence future bike designs. It's zero physically, the bike. Pedro Acosta arrives in Thailand nursing a shoulder injury from his crash at the Australian GP. While the injury won't require surgery, pain remains a significant challenge heading into the Thai GP. The pain will be the limit, Acosta acknowledged, though he's optimistic about his chances given KTM's strong performance in Thailand last year. Having missed the main race last weekend, Acosta is eager to return to form, hoping his recovery will allow him to manage the physical demands of the race weekend. Can Marc Marquez once again take points that influence the championship outcome, like he did in 2015? How crucial will the Thai GP be for Bagnaia in closing the gap to Martin? What do you think of Raul Fernandez's performance without wings?